Well, hello there. My name is Sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Last time, I took my Fire Sorc around the Infinite Archive, and today, I wanted to share her build in more detail. Inessa is a Dark Elf sorcerer, but race doesn't play a huge part here. Breton and High Elf should both work just fine. I'm not entirely happy about my stats here. Weapon and spell damage should be a lot higher. Buffs do bring those up a bit, but still. We have all of our attribute points on Magicka, and I have Inessa walking under the Apprentice boon to give that spell damage a bit of a boost. Inessa is a stage 4 vampire, but you don't need to be, unless you want to. Let's start with a quick look at champion points. In Warfare, my active stars are Weapons Expert, Biting Aura, Wrathful Strikes, and Untamed Aggression. In Witness, I have gone with Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Boundless Vitality. In Craft, I have Master Gatherer, Treasure Hunter, Homemaker, and Plentiful Harvest. Do choose the craft stars that make playing fun for you. I have given Inessa 2 Destruction Staffs. Let's start with our backup weapon, which is a Lightning Staff. First, we have Critical Surge. This grants Inessa Major Brutality and Sorcery, which boost weapon and spell damage for 20 seconds at a time. While active, Critical Surge also heals Inessa for a set amount. Surge is an excellent deal if you happen to be a vampire, and curseless characters also benefit from it. Next, I've gone with Elemental Drain, although Elemental Susceptibility would be a better move. This afflicts an enemy with Minor Breach, which reduces their physical and spell resistance. This also applies Minor Magical Steel, which allows Inessa and her allies to restore a bit of Magicka every second while damaging said enemy. And then we have Scalding Rune. This draws a blue rune on the ground. When triggered, the rune explodes to deal both instant and overtime flame damage. I really like this Major Skilled curse, and when you push Major Skilled skill line all the way to 10, a fun pack unlocks. With all passives unlocked, casting any Major Skilled ability grants you Empower for 10 seconds, which allows your heavy attacks to do more damage on monsters. Fun, say I. Moving on, we have Harness Magicka. This is a remnant from the time Inessa's build toyed with damage shields, but I honestly forgot to change it. Harness Magicka grants you a damage shield for 6 seconds at a time. Whenever the shield absorbs damage, you will restore Magicka. Each piece of light armor you wear will increase the amount of Magicka restored. If you would like to replace this with, say, Circle of Protection, please do. Last, on this weapon, we have Channeled Acceleration from Sigil Guild skill line. This grants Inessa Major Expedition, which boosts movement speed, and Minor Force, which boosts critical damage. The effect lasts for 1 minute at a time. The Sigil Guild quest line, which you need to complete in order to level up the skill line, is a bit boring, but I do recommend getting this ability. Though there are plenty of fire-related abilities in the basic skill lines, I have chosen to use 2 Scribed Abilities with Inessa. I wanted her to be a bright spark in dimly lit areas, a vampire on fire, and it kinda worked. Inessa is a lot of fun to play with, but not all that efficient in areas where enemies are large and numerous. Let's move on to our main weapon, an Inferno Staff. First, we have Unstable Wall of Elements. Why would you use this heavily nerfed ability, Heather, you ask? Well, it looks cool, that's why. Blockade of Fire deals a small amount of flame damage to all enemies in the target area while doing more damage to enemies afflicted with the burning status effect. As Inferno Staffs, Flame Enchantment, Scalding Rune, and one of our sets grant that, most enemies are under the burning status effect at all times, which makes Wall of Fire a bit better. Next, we have our first scribing. Fiery Burst deals a set amount of flame damage to all enemies around. It also heals Inessa over time and grants enemies minor breach, which reduces their physical and spell resistance. This also looks seriously cool, scared me a bit the first time I tried it. Then we find a way to push back enemies who get too close. Flame Clench deals a set amount of flame damage to a single enemy, while also granting them the burning status effect. Said enemy gets knocked back and stunned for a short while. When I first made Inessa, I wanted her to be able to stay away from the heat of battle. This ability works really well in keeping her safe. Our second Scribed ability is Fire Torch. This allows Inessa to pick up a torch and swipe the ground with it to deal both instant and overtime flame damage. This also grants enemies minor mangle, which reduces their maximum health. To be quite honest, I picked this one mainly due to the animation. This is a great immersion booster, and the amount of damage Fiery Torch does isn't all that bad. All in all, fun ability, a bit slow, yes, but not all things can happen instantaneously. Last, we have Firing. This deals a set amount of damage to all enemies at target location. Burning enemies are also hit with the Rings After Burn. This deals up to 300% more damage to enemies with less than half their health left. This is another super fun ability that's great for immersion. Our ultimate is not the Swarming Scion, but Shooting Star from Mage's Guild. This pulls a comet from the sky to squish an enemy and to deal a set amount of flame damage to everyone in the blast zone. After the initial impact, Shooting Star continues to deal flame damage in the target area for 13 seconds. I really like this ultimate, I should use it more. Inessa's abilities mainly come from Storm Calling, Destruction Staff, Fighter's Guild, Mage's Guild, Light Armor and Psijic Guild skill lines. I would recommend you to get all passives from these skill lines along with racial passives. Now to gear. This time everything comes from group dungeons. Let's start off easy. I have given Inessa the Burning Spellweave weapons and jewelry. This set drops from City of Ash. Burning Spellweave adds to maximum magicka, weapon and spell damage and critical chance. With all 5 pieces equipped, dealing damage with a flame damage ability applies the burning status effect and boosts weapon and spell damage for 8 seconds at a time. I have enchanted Inessa's weapons with the Fiery Weapon enchantment and remade her jewelry with the Bloodthirsty trait. Next, a monster set. I have stuck with Falcon Scoria. The helm drops when you slay the last enemy in City of Ash 2 in Veteran. Shoulders can be purchased from undaunted vendors. Falcon Scoria adds to offensive penetration. With both pieces equipped, a fun perk is unlocked. When you deal damage with an overtime effect, you have a chance to summon a meteor to deal a set amount of flame damage to your target and other enemies around. Granted, this doesn't trigger all that often, but when it does, oh joy! Last, Flame Blossom. This light armor set drops from Bloodroot Forge. I have this covering all armor pieces, so grinding this up was relatively fast. Flame Blossom adds to maximum magicka, weapon and spell damage and offensive penetration. With the whole set on, dealing damage will summon a line of fire to deal a set amount of flame damage to any enemy that touches it. The flames also grant enemies the burning status effect, which makes my poor wall of fire a bit stronger. I've been thinking about Inessa a lot lately, so remaking her didn't take long at all. Still, I'm a touch displeased with her. I might want to replace Burning Spellweave with Tharika's Strike to boost her weapon and spell damage. She is a bit slow and that can hurt sustain. Still, playing with fire pleases me well, and I really like the combination of abilities I have given her. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Next time, I thought we might return to Liana my Ice Warden, Inessa's wife. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all later.